This is what your garden looks like in the dead of winter. Buried, silent. The beds you tended all summer are gone under a foot of snow. The temperature has dropped well below zero, and it's easy to wonder whether anything down there is still alive at all. And here's the quiet miracle. Under that frozen ground, the toughest plants aren't dying. They're resting. They've pulled their energy down into their roots, and they are simply waiting for spring, ready to come roaring back the moment the snow lets go. If you garden in the upper Midwest, the Northern Plains, New England, or much of Canada, you already know the heartbreak of planting something beautiful only to watch it never return. So today, we're fixing that. These are 15 cold, hardy perennials that survive brutal winters in Zone 3 and Zone 4. Plants proven to shrug off temperatures of 30, even 40 degrees below zero, and bloom again like nothing happened. We'll give you the exact hardiness zone for every single one. If you're tired of replanting every spring, subscribe. We share a new low-maintenance garden guide every week, built for real climates. And tell us in the comments which zone you're gardening in. We love seeing how cold it gets out there, and we reply to every comment. Part 1. The early risers. Let's follow the season the way the garden actually lives it, starting with the brave ones. The perennials that push up first, sometimes right through the last patches of melting snow when you're still desperate for any sign of life. 1. Pasque Flower. Before almost anything else dares to move, the Pasque Flower opens. Cup-shaped purple blooms on fuzzy stems, often while frost still rims the ground. It's a tough little native of cold prairies and rocky slopes, perfectly at home in Zone 4 winters. Give it full sun and sharp drainage, and it asks for nothing else. After the flowers fade, it produces silky, feathery seed heads that catch the light beautifully. A second show from one small plant. 2. Bleeding Heart. Few plants signal spring as gracefully as Bleeding Heart, with its arching stems of dangling, heart-shaped pink and white flowers. It's far tougher than it looks, fully hardy into Zone 3, and it actually prefers the cool of part shade, making it perfect for the north side of the house or under high trees. It will go dormant and disappear by midsummer heat, which is normal. Just plant something nearby to fill the gap. Plant it once and it returns, a little bigger every spring for decades. 3. Siberian Bugloss. The name alone tells you about its constitution. This is a plant built for Siberian cold. Siberian Bugloss gives you sprays of tiny, true blue forget-me-not flowers in spring, followed by big heart-shaped leaves, often silver-frosted, that stay handsome all season. It thrives in the shade where so little else will bloom, and it's hardy to Zone 3. For a dark, difficult corner in a cold climate, there are few better choices. 4. Bergenia. Bergenia is sometimes called Pigsqueak for the sound its thick leaves make when rubbed, but its real gift is endurance. Its glossy, leathery cabbage-like leaves are nearly evergreen, often turning deep burgundy in the cold, and it sends up bright pink flower clusters in early spring. Hardy to Zone 3, untroubled by sun or shade, ignored by deer. It's about as bulletproof as a perennial gets. 5. Creeping Phlox. When creeping Phlox blooms, it doesn't do it halfway. It becomes a solid carpet of colour, pink, lavender or white, spilling over walls and slopes in mid-spring. Beneath the show, it's a tough, mat-forming evergreen ground cover that takes Zone 3 winters in stride and chokes out weeds the rest of the year. Plant it on a sunny bank or at the front of a bed and let it spread into a living blanket. Part 2. The Summer Backbone. Now we reach the heart of the season and the plants that form the dependable structure of a cold climate garden, the ones you build everything else around. These are the perennials that survive the worst winters and then carry your borders through all of summer, year after year, often for a generation or more. 6. Peony. A peony can outlive the gardener who plants it. There are peonies thriving on old farmsteads across the northern states that are older than the people tending them. Hardy well into Zone 3. Peonies actually need a cold winter to bloom well. Brutal winters are a feature, not a bug. Give them full sun and patience. Once settled, they produce those huge, fragrant late spring blooms every year with almost no care. Plant the roots shallowly in fall and don't move them. They resent it. 7. Siberian iris. Tougher and far easier than the bearded iris most people know. Siberian iris forms elegant clumps of slender grassy foliage topped with delicate flowers in blue, purple, white or yellow. It's hardy to Zone 3, untroubled by wet or dry soil and essentially pest-free. Even after the flowers finish, the upright foliage stays attractive into fall. According to Northern University trials, it's one of the most reliable perennials you can grow in a hard climate. 8. Daylily. If there were a single plant to recommend to a discouraged cold climate gardener, the daylily might be it. It is almost impossible to kill. Hardy to Zone 3, drought tolerant, indifferent to soil and blooming through the heat of summer, daylilies multiply into bigger clumps each year that you can dig and divide for free plants. Reblooming varieties keep the colour coming for months. This is the definition of plant it and forget it. 9. Catmint. Catmint earns a place in nearly any low-maintenance garden, and in cold climates it's a star. Hardy to Zone 3 and blooming in a soft cloud of lavender blue from late spring well into fall, especially after a mid-season shearing. It's drought-proof, deer-resistant, beloved by bees, and utterly unfussy. A long-blooming, trouble-free backbone for any sunny northern border. 10. Yarrow. Yarrow thrives where pampered plants fail. Poor soil, blazing sun, drought and bitter winters all suit it fine. Hardy to Zone 3, it lifts flat clusters of bloom in white, gold, red or soft rose above ferny. Aromatic foliage from early summer onward, and the dried seed heads hold through winter to feed the birds. One of the most dependable, self-sufficient perennials for a cold, exposed site. 11. Coneflower. The purple coneflower is a tall grass prairie native, which means cold is in its DNA. Hardy to Zone 3 and built for the kind of weather that flattens lesser plants. Its big daisy flowers bloom for weeks in mid to late summer. The bees and butterflies swarm them, and if you leave the seed heads standing, goldfinches feast on them all winter. Full sun, average soil, no babying required. 12. Black-eyed Susan. Few plants give more for less. Black-eyed Susan blankets the late summer garden in golden, dark-scented daisies, blooming for weeks just when many other perennials are fading. Hardy to Zone 3, drought-tolerant and happy to spread into a generous drift, it's a workhorse of the northern garden. Leave the seed heads up, and the birds will thank you through the cold months. Still building your list? Hit subscribe so you can find these again when it's time to plant. And here's a question for the comments. What's the coldest temperature your garden has ever come back from? Tell us. We reply to every comment. Part 3. Freeze-thaw, late season finishers. Finally, the plants that carry your garden across the finish line, the ones that save their best for late summer and fall when the northern season is short and every extra week of colour matters most. In a cold climate, these finishers are worth their weight in gold. 13. Russian sage. Russian sage holds its airy haze of silvery stems and lavender blue flowers from midsummer until frost, never flagging, in heat or drought. Hardy to Zone 4, it brings cool colour and graceful height to the late garden when so much else has tired. Give it full sun and lean, well-drained soil. Rich soil and overwatering are the only things that disappoint it. Leave the silvery stems standing for winter interest above the snow. 14. Autumn stonecrop. This is the plant that refuses to quit. Through summer, its succulent blue-green foliage is handsome on its own. Then, in late summer, the flower heads form and slowly deepen from pale pink to rich rust as fall arrives, staying gorgeous even as they dry and hold their shape above the first snow. Hardy to Zone 3, drought-proof and adored by late pollinators, Autumn Joy is the classic for good reason. 15. New England Aster. We finish the season the way the prairie does, with asters. When almost everything else has given up, New England Aster erupts in clouds of purple, pink and blue daisies, feeding the last butterflies and bees before the cold closes in. Hardy to Zone 3 and tall and dramatic in the back of a border, it's the perfect final note for a cold climate garden. Pinch it back in early summer for a bushier, sturdier fall display. 15 perennials, from the Pasque Flower that opens in the melting snow to the asters that bloom against the first frost. Every one of them tough enough to sleep through a brutal Zone 3 or Zone 4 winter and wake up ready to bloom all over again. That's the real gift of gardening in a hard climate. You're not fighting the cold, you're working with plants that have already made their peace with it. Plant these once and the snow stops being something to dread. It becomes just a long, quiet pause, and underneath it, your garden is already getting ready to come back to you. If this gave you hope for next spring, subscribe so the next guide finds you, and tell us which of these 15 are you planting first and what zone are you in. We'll help you choose and we reply to every comment. See you in the next one.